All right, everybody, I need your help. I need your help, all right? My mom gave me $5, all right? I'm very excited. She gave me a task to do. I've got to go to the store, okay? Got to get a half gallon of milk for $2.99, right? But she gave me $5, okay? So if I'm doing the math correctly, I've got a couple bucks left over. Now, what I'm not sure about is how many candy bars I can buy. I love Snickers bars, okay? And I'm hungry, and I don't want to wait, all right? So I figured out these things are 60 cents a piece, right? So I'm trying to figure out how many of these things I can get. Well, I know I gotta get the milk from my mom, because if I don't get the milk, I just better get the milk, all right? So I know, I gotta spend $2.99 on the milk. Now, I'm gonna have some left over, okay? And I'm looking at these candy bars, right? Now I'm trying to figure out how many of these I can buy. Well, let's see. So I have this cost is fixed, right? The $2.99 is not going to change, all right? And neither are these, but what's going to change is how many I can get, right? The cost of these stays the same, but the total cost depends on how many I buy, right? So for these, it's a cost per item, right? So when we've talked about this when we the word per. Right, we're going to multiply, right? So we have an additional cost per item we have here. Now, we're problem solvers here. So, what we're trying to do is we're trying to solve the problem. My problem is, well, it's not too bad of a problem. How many candy bars can I buy? So, in math, when we have a problem we want to solve, especially in algebra, we can represent that unknown problem with our variable. So, I'm going to have an additional cost of 60 cents per Snickers bar, right? So I'm trying to figure out how many of these guys I can eat. Now, I know I can't spend more than the $5 my mom gave me, right? So I have this $5, I have no more money, right? So I can spend up to $5, right? But I can't spend more, right? I don't have more than $5. So when dealing with an inequality like we've been doing for the past few days, right, I could spend equal to the $5 that my mom gave me, right? Or I could spend less than. I don't want to spend too much less than. I want to use as much of this as I possibly can, because I want to get the most Snickers bars possible. So all of that has to be less than $5. All right? So what we've done here, all right, is we've identified our initial cost, right? The initial cost of what I have to buy, right? And which is the milk that I need to get from my mom. And then we also have an additional cost per item, right? The Snickers bar. I want to figure out how many of these Snickers bars I can buy. So we also have an additional cost per item, which we've represented using the variable s and using multiplication, right? And then I need it to be an inequality because I can't spend more than $5. That's the most I can spend. So, and now once I've set it up, we can solve it just like we've solved inequalities the last week. Right here we'd have to subtract $2.99 from both sides. 0.60s is 3.01. Divide by 0.60. And we get the number of Snickers bars must be less than about 3.3. Now I can't buy 0.3 of a Snickers bar. I wish I could, right? I wish I could buy 0.3 of a Snickers bar, right? So that's only going to allow me to buy 3 whole Snickers bars, right? Because the number of Snickers bars must be less than 3.3, and we can't buy a third of a Snickers bar. So, when we're dealing with these problems, writing and solving inequalities, what I want you to do is first approach them with a problem-solving approach, right? Identify what information are we trying to solve here, right? So identifying what you need to solve, right? And then also you can, using visuals like this, drawing yourself little pictures, right? Getting down the initial costs, right? The milk, the $2.99, okay? That I have to buy or my mom will go crazy. Right, and then here, right, I want as many Snickers bars I can get. Right now, when I don't know how many Snickers bars, right, If we don't know something, we can represent it using a variable and then solve for that variable and figure it out from there. So, what I would like for you to do with a partner is I'm going to hand out two different inequality problems. All right, and with your partner, you're going to solve them. Now, not only are you going to solve them, all right, you're going to take this problem-solving approach where first you're going to draw a picture of the information. Okay, you're going to represent the information using a picture, right? And then after you solve the inequality, the first problem, you explain to your partner how you solve the first problem, right, using sequence words such as first, next, then, and last. All right, and then for the second problem, you guys are going to switch roles, and the other person is going to explain how they solved that problem. All right? Have at it.